Hey, what's up, everyone? You're watching Ash on Comics. I'm Ash. Here's today's comic, Detective Comics 988 by Robinson and Segovia. Now, I originally intended not to buy this comic book. I was buying Detective Comics just for Bryan Hill's run, and that was going to be it. I was not interested in Detective Comics, but I want to say another prop to Bryan Hill is he got me to like Detective Comics. Not just his run, but by reconstructing Batman. He didn't just tell a good story. He brought Batman back to being Batman. 988 is Batman. It's no more Bat Family. That is fantastic. So now, for the first time in a long time, there are two Batman books. You do not have to just rely on Tom King. You have another Batman book, and it's Detective Comics, the original. So I'm going to stick with it because I heard Robinson's run is temporary. Tomasi is becoming the full writer. And I loved his work on Superman. Hopefully it translates to Batman. Not all writers are suited for all characters. Some have really good strengths. You know, for example, Frank Miller, my all-time favorite. He's great street-level characters, the dark and gritty. I don't think I would necessarily want him doing Fantastic Four, per se, you know. But he'd probably still be good. It just he wouldn't be amazing. Anyways, I'm rambling on. So, here we are in the book. Nice, thick, matte pages. The same stuff that Superman is getting. Weird that they did this to Detective Comics. It's like I feel like Detective Comics and Action Comics are kind of like brother sister. Superman gets the treatment I figured they would have done to Batman or Action and Detective, but anyways, you get what I'm saying. But anyway, it's nice. I love it. It was a nice treat. The book feels nice and thick. It has a heft to your hand. It feels quality. The books are $3.99 now. But, you know, you can tell DC is trying to give you quality. I'm not real familiar with Robinson's writing, but I'm liking this art right from the get-go. It's very, very nice. So here we have just a basic murder scene. Batman shows up. Gordon's questioning him, like, what the hell are you doing here? It's just basic murders beneath you, blah, 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 blah. And take a look at these two pages. This is going to kind of be my example of the art here. Now, this artist is not necessarily the kind of artist that knocks your socks off visually. His illustrations are conservative, they're simple, but I really like his storytelling, the way he composes. Composition is a big deal. I talk about layouts and I talk about sequential storytelling, but in illustration, composition is very, very important. It's basically kind of like how you frame the shot, where you want the reader's eye to be drawn. And the colorist in this book, I don't know who it is, but complements it very well. Here, this frame, for example, really grabs you. By composing it this way with Batman's head kind of like coming out of the shot, your eye is drawn here, but immediately the colorist pulls you down here with the light of Gordon. And that's the way the dialogue happens. You know, Batman sitting here saying, yes, what? You know, and Gordon responds. And it just flows. And we take this stuff for granted. Or a lot of people take this stuff for granted. And oftentimes when a book is really good, they don't understand why it was good. They just say, oh, it was great, the art was good, or the writing was good, but they don't have a way of concretely understanding some of the skills and the techniques that went into causing their enjoyment. I love wordless scenes. This shot here of Gordon, it's so underrated. But anyways, I'm rambling. I just wanted you to kind of take in to see what the look of the book is. This book itself is not... Oh, look at this nice spread. The book starts off really great. The victim's name is Harold Frank, and then turn the page, and it's a solitary man. To face the face, part 1, we see Batman hurling over the city. It's just nice. I'm not going to go really go through the whole story of the book. It's a pretty basic story, actually. Batman is trying to figure out who did this murder. It's just your basic detective case. He has a gut feeling that there's more to it. It carries a little bit over from the previous story, Bryan Hill, in the sense that Batman feels like he needs to prove something to himself, that he doesn't need a team, that he is everything that he once was. There's a part where Gordon's like, do you want me to call in some help when we call the signal, da-da-da? And Batman's like, no, what are you talking about? Like, do you think I can't handle this shit? And that's kind of cool. I really like getting Batman back to that confidence. I mean, this is a guy that can be Superman. Batman is the shit, okay? And, yeah. So, as you can see, the visual storytelling, it's not... Oh, this is pretty good stuff. Actually, it's understated, but it's just really well done. I would be happy to see this guy stay. I don't know who the artist is going to be for Tomasi. This guy is doing some good work, and I really enjoyed the coloring. I don't normally notice coloring in comics, just because pro colorists are all kind of on this like same level. If you're a pro colorist, the difference between like the great colorist and the pretty good colorist is like minimal. But on certain books, it becomes more than just flashy colors, just knowing where to add color and keep other things mute, and how to draw the eye, and I appreciated it in this book. We get a cute little scene of Batman rescuing this woman from the fire, and she's like, I can't leave, where's my dog? And it's like, grrr, here you go, now get out of here. I will say in this book, I was enjoying it, reading it through, but it stood out to me that the dialogue was not at Bryan Hill's level. Bryan Hill is a guy who just really seems to get Batman, like his voice, and wrote Batman's dialogue so excellent. This is written competently, but not expertly. I was okay. There was a couple times where I was like, I don't know if Batman would really sound like that. But it wasn't like, offensively bad. It was just me kind of going, I also felt Batman was a little too talky in this issue. He's got Alfred on the mic, and so it's almost like the writer needed an excuse to constantly have dialogue instead of just silent, because Batman's not that kind. He's not like a Spider-Man character who's constantly like talking to the villain as he's fighting him. Batman's not, so a fight would just be silent. So there needs to be something. I would rather have inner monologue. I think that would be a better case of just Batman in his brain talking to himself. And a little bit less of it. It didn't ruin the story at all. It's me nitpicking, really. As you can see, yeah, this is just a really competent book. That's what I would say about it. It's not stellar. It's not going to be like, oh, just fly off the shelf, go get it. But it's just well done in the sense that this was like the norm. This is what comics used to be, like the bar. Just if you wanted a decent comic that was worth the money, this was it. Your staple book. This doesn't have much really going on in it yet. You get this fight with Firefly, this Firefly character, and you get some sort of setup with this murder, some mystery, a little intrigue, and it's just overall decently good. You get a reveal at the end of a character, Cobra. I'm not sure who that is. I'm sure old-time Batman gurus know who that is. And it's going to be continued, so this is not just a one-shot story. And I was pleased with it. I'm going to say like this issue is like a 3-star, but you understand when I say 3-star, I'm a very harsh critic. 3 is like what I demand comics to be. Like that means I was entertained, I was okay paying the cover price. I probably wouldn't subscribe to a comic book if it was 3 stars like just every week. I expect my comics to at least go up and have some good issues, go back down a little bit. If it's just consistently plateau at 3, it's not that it's not worth it. It's just more of there's other comics and I have to pick and choose, and there's better ones. This I think is worth it. When I say 3 stars, I want you to know that that's like the bar. It doesn't mean that it's bad. I use 4 stars for ones like grab your attention. 4 stars is what I gave Bryan Hill. And I just want to say 5 stars for... I don't want that. If I use 5 stars, you'd be like, oh, holy shit, Ash, I really like this book. That's like when something really amazing comes out and is worth your time. I would give like White Knight 5 stars. That's just like, whoa. And also it's a combination of art and writing. Sometimes you have like, in like Bryan Hill's case, great writing. The art wasn't, stellar. So it drug it down. Had Bryan Hill's storyline had, say, like Greg Capullo's art, that would have been, it could have been maybe a 5-star book, So understand that. Don't worry if I ever say 3 stars. Don't say like maybe it's not so good. No, 3 stars to me is recommend worthy. 2 stars is it wasn't so good, and a 1 star is just gutter trash. That is just that those are the books you should rip up. So recommend, yes. I think this book has potential. I like where it's going. Even though Robinson didn't wow me, he did still please me. Not that way. He made me happy that I got the book, and that was what I wanted to do. Is he basically cemented a subscriber? I'm looking forward to the rest of his run, and then jumping over to Tomasi, and I'm Detective Comics. Hopefully this builds and becomes the #1 Batman book that it should be. People are complaining about Tom King's work. Here's your alternative. Support it. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye.